Yo, this guy ruined his chance just like that. I was waiting to talk about this, but I need to see how it unfolded first. So 2 weeks ago, right, one of my best friends on Discord, internet friend, never met him in person, known him for like 8 years though. We haven't really talked in a few months. We're just busy, right? Nothing personal. And then suddenly I get a message and he's like, Andre, I finally did it. I went on a date. And I was like, what? Bro, you like 30 now. First time you get in a date. I'm hyped, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is the first time you really get into. Hey, hey. And I knew he was talking to this girl off and on online, right? But he said he took a 2 hour drive to meet her. Okay, so this girl and I and him, we played Minecraft together at one point, the three of us. So I know her, not know her, but I know who Shorty is. And they were always attached to each other online. But my friend, again, he's 30, no relationship experience, at least in real life. He's very timid, shy. He doesn't really talk to much. He doesn't really talk to people, even who he's open with. He has no job. He stays at home all day. You know what I'm saying? He's a neat. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have conversations, and it feels like this is how much he doesn't talk. By the way, like I'll literally talk to him, and he won't say much back, but I could tell he's absorbing the information. And when he does say something, I could tell he's listening. It's just not many words. So I said, hold on. Let's talk about this date though. Let me call you. So when I came home, I didn't take off my shoes or my jacket. I hopped right on the computer and I called him on Discord, and I was too happy for him. And he's like, so I attempted to go on this date. And I was like, wait, what? Hold on. Now your wording is different here. I literally sped home for like, what do you mean you attempted to go on a date? You went on the date, did you not? And he's like, yeah. I drove a few hours and I met her. We went to a steakhouse and everything, and she hasn't really been talking to me since the date. And I was like, oh, so let's tell me how this went though. Let's talk about it. So he says, and I can't believe this guy. So boom, right? He says he got a haircut and he made himself look clean. He took my advice. I said in videos, if you want to be approachable, look sharp. He got a lineup. He trimmed his facial hair. He put on some nice formal clothes like a suit pants and a collared shirt. He tucked in his shirt too. And he showed up and she said he looked really handsome. I was like, hey, see the Aku advice, first base right there. So he said they were both shy and everything, right? It was a little awkward, you know. You mean first time on the internet, and he wanted to break the shyness and awkwardness. So he lacks social skills to do so, but he's trying. So he said this. He tried to start a conversation. And he says he feels like we should empower each other so we can stick together, and that weak people in society only want to control other people. Lower dimensional entities only exist or remain active in people's lives because they want to control your free will, like evil spirits and demons. This is the story of Adam and Eve. But someone like God and the prophets and the angels actually respect your free will and won't try to influence you to do bad things. However, if you talk to these prophets or angels or communicate with God through prayer, they'll guide you in your free will, but they won't try to control you. I'm like, what the? What? Why would you say that? You should have heard the tone in my voice as after he like, what? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you do that? Why would you talk about that? What you what, you had the opportunity to break the ice. What are you even talking about? That conversation, we had a conversation about that stuff, that what he just said about all that. We had that conversation privately, okay? But we spoke about that like half a year ago. I didn't know you were still even thinking about that stuff. You go on a date and dude, why would you share that with her? What was the point of talking about that? He's like, I was trying to spark a deep conversation. That's what you told me to do. I did say that, but there's a time and place. Like, what dude, this isn't 4chan, bro. And he's like, yeah, well, now I think about it, she hasn't really responded to me when I've been after I ranted to her about all that stuff at the date. Yeah, she's weirded out. And I asked him, did y'all have conversations about this stuff before? And he says no. Okay, so you drove out multiple hours, had a chance, and you blew it by talking about this stuff. Not everyone is into this type of stuff, and even if they are, you need to like dip your toe in the water, okay? We had that conversation privately a long time ago because we know each other. I know what conversations we can have. And if I'm talking to someone and I don't know what they're into, or if they are capable of having those type of conversations, even if it's just like ridiculous conversations like that, who knows? I'm not even saying that's like I believe in that stuff. It's just a conversation. I just either won't bring it up, or I'll gently test how broad they're willing to talk about these things. Now, like I said, like he said, rather, they're barely talking, right? They, ever since he said that he said all that stuff, and that she was just like not saying anything during the whole date. But I'm telling him, like, you can't just go 0 to 100 in a conversation. I understand this is your first time, and I'm actually very proud of you for making it to first base. Like, you dressed up, you look sharp, you even got called handsome. So she was physically attracted to how you were looking. But you blew it by your social skills. And that's actually okay. That's okay. It's not a mistake or a bad thing, really. It's an experience. And you just gotta know how to pull back a bit. Well, a lot, okay? Okay, you don't just walk up to somebody or just meet somebody and be like, yo, so the lower dimensional entities and God and the angels, like, bro, all right, hold on. yo. What? Like, all right, chill out. You know, it's not how you start conversations, okay? Considering you made it this far, now you know it's possible that you are compatible in at least some way for people. You know what I'm saying? It's been 30 years. Okay, 30 years of your whole life. You finally sat in front of a woman, bro. Use this as a confidence boost. I'm proud of you. Hey, so I said to him, since you already look sharp now, you know, you got that, you know, I told you go to some Dominicans. I told you get your hair cut by them Dominicans, or go to some Russians. They'll cut your hair. You know what I'm saying? They'll cut your hair good. You know what I'm saying? And you know, hey, since you already look sharp, you should hop on some dating apps. Take advantage of that haircut and that facial hair trim you got. Take some selfies now. Take advantage of those new shoes you got too for her. Go out there, experience and learn. And don't take failed dates personally, okay? I know you really like Shorty because y'all were playing Minecraft together. It was online, so it was convenient for you. But look, I'm just so proud of you. But just chill out. Find something else to talk about besides that, okay? Like I said in like older videos, you know, an easy way to talk to women is talk about astrology. Even if they're not into it, they'll be into it because, you know, all their friends be into it. You know what I'm saying? If they have friends, you know what I'm saying? Astrology is such an easy thing to talk about. And, you know, there's so many other things to talk about. It's just, this conversation was just not it. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't it, okay? Anyway, look, you could learn a thing from this story. I'm actually really happy for him right now. And I've been keeping up with him almost daily about his dating app thing, because he actually started going on dating apps now. He actually has matches. Like, he's got matches. And I'm just, you know what? I'm just trying to score him a date by next week. Maybe I'll update you guys on that one too. I'm excited. Anyway, I love you all. I'm out.